Okay.
All right.
That is our, for drummers only, first segment of this episode. Excuse me.
Cooking
And
Comically round 2.
round 2. And featuring Rod Morgenstein on the drums with Steve Morse and the Dixie Dregs from a live show in Connecticut, approximately circa 2008. And anyway, Rod's a good drummer.
Been around for
Long time, yes. He used to play with Winger. And we won't be playing Winger today.
okay.
And so that's about it for now. There'll be more later, though.
Winger, tying into the Beavis and Butthead that we talked about last week, was the T-shirt that the neighbor boy Stuart wore.
Really?
Yes. Butthead wore AC/DC, Beavis wore Metallica, and Stuart wore the Winger shirt.
Nice.
That's right.
And wings are things you can eat.
That's right. Like buffalo wings, pigeon wings.
Pigeon wings. Back when Winger was popular, wings were about 10 cents each, as I recall, at all these little university pubs and what have you. But now they're more.
Yeah. Pizza Hut offers 50-cent wing Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Which suck.
I saw one the other day. It was 49-cent wings. Wherever you can shave off a penny.
That's right. I have yet to go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Neither have I.
Well, we should make a point to going there because I hear it's pretty
broadcast.
Good. Yeah, live. That's right. No one will be able to hear shit. Can we have a corner booth, please, and tell everyone around us to shut the hell up? Welcome to Cooking Comically, round 2. Today we will have for you the leftover meat moment. We'll dive into that in just a little while. New section here, new segment. Steve's Savory Suggestions. What will we be tackling this week, Steve?
This week, we recently moved, and so I found a whole bunch of cookbooks hanging around. I thought I would just, as I like to do, last-minute preparation, pick one. And I found one by Dr. Andrew Weil, MD, and Rosie Daly. So a lot of people should know of Dr. Weil, East in Arizona. He works at the U of A, and he's a cool dude. He's the guy with the big beard and the bald head.
I like bearded people. I feel like I fit in well with him.
And he certainly has one. And this Rosie Daly was once Oprah's personal chef, but we can see how that turned out. So
yeah.
Anyway, today's savory moment is a portobello burger using a portobello mushroom. And there's really no recipe. It's more of just like directions for what to do with your mushroom, etc. So for a simple vegetarian alternative to meat or turkey burger, this is from the book. I thought, isn't turkey meat? But I'll let it slide. Try broiling or grilling a whole portobello mushroom cap and serve on a toasted bun with your favorite garnishes and cheese or whatever.
Awesome.
I know how much you like the blue cheese.
I am not
fungus
a fan
on
of blue
fungus.
Cheese. No, thank you.
So, you just grill it. You brush it with some olive oil and some seasonings, and then you can broil it on a broiler or grill it. And when it starts to turn brown and a little soft, I guess you flip it and repeat. Let's see, cook until soft and the cap begins to brown. I said that. So then, and then you just slide the cooked shrooms onto the waiting buns and garnish with a few of Andrew Weil's beard hairs, and you are good to go.
Those poor lonely buns.
But I
just waiting.
Right. Patiently. Of course, we're all adults. We can add what we like and what have you. But I figured, that's cool. I'm not much of a vegetarian guy, but that would be cool once in a while.
Yeah, and those mushroom caps are kind of like little bowls, man. I mean, you can load them full of anything. You can almost do like a stuffed mushroom burger upside down, or something like that.
That's good. Yes, you can. Lots of options with that. The thing with this book, though, it's funny if anyone happens to have The Healthy Kitchen by Andrew Weil and Rosie Daly. He always just looks like he's tripping balls, like on the cover. He's just smiling his ass off, and he's got these squinted eyes. And then on page 189, I captioned it. There's no caption, but I said the caption is trying not to burn his lips, and he's not tasting soup. It looks like she's holding a roach for him, and he's taking a hit right there in front of the meat market.
We'll snap a photo of that,
Farmer's market, excuse me,
and put it up on the
Okay.
YouTube broadcast here, so people can kind of get a sense of what it is that we're looking at. That's awesome.
And in connection with a longtime cartoon favorite, we're calling this one Andy Cap. Andy Cap.
I
mushroom
see.
Cap.
Because his name is Andrew. Yep.
It's almost St. Patty's Day, so it's all just tying in. It's crazy.
Yeah. Drink too much, become a little handicapped.
But and I just found out this happens to be Rod Morgenstein's favorite burger.
Oh, kidding.
Yeah, I am.
Man, way to come full circle, man. That's awesome.
So that sums it up for me.
Steve's savory suggestions. Fun with fungus. Good stuff, man. I think I'd like to try that. I'm always down for any sandwich type anything. You know, if I can hold it in my hands and eat it on the go, the better.
Yeah.
Let's not forget our featured food this month is Top Ramen. Talk about a few more suggestions that we've got for that just a little bit later, and then we'll jump into snack time. This week's snack time comes from an old family recipe, and if anybody knows the way that I like to cook, I usually only like to use a few ingredients, and these few ingredients you don't even have to cook anything. It's all easily prepared, thrown together, and a huge hit at family gatherings. So anyway, how's your week been, man?
It's been good since last week. Just finished unpacking and what have you with the new place. Working, as I mentioned earlier, one of the guys I work with got fired.
Yeah, you got him fired.
Yeah, pretty much.
No.
Pretty much. And it feels good.
You know what? It's important to hold people accountable. And if the guy isn't doing things and he's screwing up your job and he's getting in the way of doing what you need to do, I understand that you didn't go to your boss, but he was held accountable for his actions, and that's what needs to happen, because if people aren't, then the job can't be done, man. It can't be done the way it needs to be done.
Yeah, and how this time and whatever, the economy and what have you, how can you even just like, I just appreciate my job so much. Like every time my phone rings and it's from my boss, I'm just like, oh my God, he's going to fire me, or he's going to,
Yeah.
And this guy's just, doing what he's doing, not worried about providing for his family.
Well, now he's screwed.
I know, it sucks. I feel bad for him.
I get that way too, though.
I'll pray for you, Frank.
I get that way too. If I get scheduled for like an extra hour meeting with the boss, it's like that's the hour it's going to take them to fire me, and it's never that, or rarely is it ever that. But I feel that way too.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
I once they're my boss, there's a hard thing to make I don't know. I guess there's just that divide. It's like, as cool as you might be, you're still my boss, and so.
Yeah. So you did make it down to laughs.
I did while I was waiting for Frank, and saw a few comedians there, and some were pretty good. The place was packed, so that was cool.
Yeah.
So I'm still working up the nerve to maybe. I've been working on some stuff throughout the week. It's not easy, but I guess, depends on if it's funny. That's the most important thing. But
I think I know what you're getting at by saying it's not easy, but like it's coming. Like the free-flowing thought is coming,
mm-hmm.
and that's good. That's awesome. I worked out. Well, I did a 10 minutes at Mr. Head's last night. It didn't go well, but I was able to throw out a little bit of new material that, for the people that were paying attention, they seem to like it. I'm not writing as much material as I wish I was, but it's coming. Refining old material. But I'm not going to make it to last tonight. Probably
Nor
next
am I.
week though. So maybe we can plan on doing that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I need to organize things, and I don't know.
Or Wednesday nights too. You can come with me to Mr. Head's. You get more time. A lot more time. That's kind of scary though. I lucked out. I was supposed to go on dead last night, but they had another guy named Dustin on the list that didn't show up. And so I talked to the person in charge of running the show, and I said, hey, my name's Dustin. You just say my last name instead of his last name, and I'll go in his place, which logically doesn't make any sense at all. It was total bullshit, but he let me do it. Mm-hmm. So, I think that I stepped on a couple of people's toes because I was going before they were, and they should have just skipped the guy.
Yeah.
But they weren't named Dustin, so if they were, I think they would have done the same thing. Screw them. You gotta take what you can get, right?
That's right, dog eat dog. So, as Ted Nugent says, it's a free for all.
That's right. Well, what do you say we talk about leftover meat? Does that sound good?
I've been waiting all week.
So has the meat. So this week's leftover meat moment is pot roast. Pot roast in and of itself is very easy, and we'll probably be doing a pot roast, talking about pot roast on future podcasts. But this week we're going to talk about what to do with your leftover pot roast, and we're going to be making Philly cheese steak sandwiches. Obviously, we don't live in Philadelphia, so please don't get mad. It's not going to size up to the original, but it's pretty close. So what you need in addition to your leftover beef pot or your beef roast is bell pepper, onion, your favorite mushrooms, and mozzarella. I also like to add cheddar. And then get some soft rolls. It's okay if they're soft because we're going to grill them. And so, it won't be a huge mess. So all you have to do is get your pan, slice all your veggies, slice them pretty thin because you don't want to cook them for too long. You don't want, I like mine real thin. You want your onions to have some bite, but everything else, make it so you don't have to cook them very long. Use some extra virgin olive oil and some butter at the same time. Butter for taste, olive oil just to make it easier to cook. You don't want to use all butter. And do it in this order. Go bell peppers first, then onions, then mushrooms. That way they all cook evenly. Once those are all cooked, you can throw in some jalapenos too if you like spice, which I do. And then take your meat and slice it really, really, really thin while your vegetables are cooking. Throw it in there and really let the vegetables do the cooking of the meat, not the pan.
Yes.
Because you don't want it to get too chewy. And that's pretty much it. I mean, your meat's already seasoned. If you want to throw some Worcestershire sauce in there, you can. But I don't. I don't even touch it. The flavor's already there, man. Top it with mozzarella. Cut your rolls in half and brown them in a pan. More olive oil and butter until they're crispy. And then lastly, broil your mozzarella and cheddar on top of the meat and the goods. And you're set. You are ready to roll.
You are cooking.
Yeah, with the leftover meat moment is the Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. So if you have suggestions for your beef roast, and how to prepare it, any recipes like that, we want to hear about it, and we will feature your recipes on the podcast and drop your name. Just email those recipes to cookingcomically@gmail.com, and more than likely we'll give you a shout out and talk about your stuff.
That sounds actually really good. It's making me hungry.
Yeah, my buddy Ryan used to make those. He'd do all kinds of crazy shit with it, though. Like different. I know that Sam's Club sells a jalapeno or a habanero pineapple marinade. And that's really good just to mix in with the meat and just change up the flavor, sweeten it up and stuff. But yeah, he's a pro. So I think that he'll be featured on this podcast once he gets his ass down here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Because we need that. I'm no help.
What about around here, man? Are there any good restaurants where you can go and get a good like Philly cheesesteak that you're aware of?
Let's see. There's. I know we have some Philly's Finest. I don't know if that's what kind of a chain that is.
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Perhaps Sausage Deli.
Where's that?
Which has just been relocated to the southeast corner of Grant and First.
Here in Tucson.
Yes.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't.
So at the sausage deli places, it's set up like a meat market where you go in and they make their own sausages there, and you buy them by the pound, or is it more like a sit down sort of restaurant style place?
Yeah, it's kind of more of just a restaurant
Okay,
and grab and go.
cool.
I want to say there's a place in Tucson, of course, but Dickman's. I think it's called Dickman's, of course.
I'm
Nate's
going to
and
avoid that place. I, anyone who willingly calls themselves Dick, I feel like has like they've got something going on. You don't sign up for other people to call you, a penis.
Wouldn't you just go with Richard?
Yeah, Rich. I mean, Ricky. You can go on and on. No, I mean, come on.
I know. I feel bad for those guys.
But it's their choice. I mean, it's not like their parents were calling them Dick. So
Maybe
few
we're
of them.
just perverts. Maybe we're forever 13 and we just can't help. I know I am. I just.
Funny you should mention that, Steve, because I've got here in front of me a thing that I found at Bath and Body Works, and it says "I heart BBW," and the reason that I picked it up is because in the pornography world, BBW is big beautiful women, and so that was, of course, the first thing I thought. And I had to grab it and figure out why this was laying in a woman's store full of fragrances. And it was like, why is this even here? And then I finally realized, oh, it's Bath and Body Works.
Yes.
So yeah, absolutely, I'm childish, and like I watch way too much pornography apparently. And all it took is a little piece of paper with some ink on it to remind me that.
I saw a thing in my wife's People magazine about Bonnie Franklin. I guess she was the mother on whatever that was, with Valerie Bertinelli and damn it, Sunday Nights. Anyway, she played the sassy redheaded mom, and the guy that played the janitor, and commenting about this, said, that Bonnie Franklin just had the greatest smile. It just exploded across her face. And I went right to
Exactly.
pervert 13-year-old world, and I thought, exploded across her face. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I know. And those kind of thoughts too. It's like you're looking for someone else to share it with. You're like, hey, did you get it? Did you get it? And you look around, and you're like, oh, it's just me.
Can you believe they printed that?
I know.
Can you believe that?
Exactly. I'm with you, man.
One day at a time. That's what it was.
Oh, that okay.
Anyway, I did hear about a woman that received 5 organ transplants and just gave birth to a healthy child, a little girl.
Wow. How old is she? Not the
guess.
child, the woman.
Oh, I don't know, probably in her 30s or 40s or something. But I said that the daughter was, pretty healthy, except for the fact that she had like a curly tail and a nose that looked like an electrical socket.
That's crazy. Wow.
Science. Yes.
I know, it's amazing, man. Like I'm ashamed to admit that I have some family members that not cousins and kind of farther out or whatever, that don't exactly lead the healthiest of lives,
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
Not like us.
no, far worse. I mean, chemicals and things like that, and they're having kids that are perfectly healthy and normal, and I mean, great, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, doesn't that just kind of tell people you can go ahead and screw up and everything's going to be fine? I mean, eventually you have to face, the repercussions for your actions and stuff. I mean, and I'm not saying that I wish that, a human life should be that punishment, but it's just like, it sucks that there are people that live very healthy, fit lives, and they have, children that don't survive, and then others that don't deserve that luxury that do, so.
Then I just keep cranking them out.
Yeah, oh yeah.
3 and 4 healthy kids, and yeah.
I have to admit, though, I love that tax break. It's nice.
Does it come in handy?
I was talking to a coworker about that. She's like, oh, you have a kid, blah, blah, blah. You know, I made the joke. I said, yeah, daddy's little tax break. You know, obviously a joke. You know, and she goes, what? You get extra money for having a kid? And I said, yeah. And this was a Friday we were working. She's like, I'm getting pregnant tonight.
Oh.
I said, hey, it's Friday. I'm sure that's not going to be an issue. You just go out and find the right guy. You know.
Well, that's the other thing, man. I don't care. Any woman can get laid.
Yeah.
You see some
Oh, sure.
nasty women with kids, and you're like, wow, wow.
That's just it.
Someone impregnated that.
Yep. Men get desperate enough. You know, some men will get, yeah, they'll do whatever it takes.
It's like a sickness.
Well, it is. And the fact is, like, I lived in an area in Seattle where it wasn't hard to drive not too far and see a road full of prostitutes. None of them were attractive. And to think that there are people that pay money to have sex with people that looked that bad is just mind-boggling, you know? I mean, aside from the fact that they look that bad, the risk of getting a disease is so much higher. And people just sign up for it. They pay money for it, you know? Like, why would you do that? I mean, people are that desperate to get their rocks off. Just unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, not me, man. In today's technological age, save your BJ money up, you know? Go buy yourself a laptop, and, you know, you can sit in the parking lot of McDonald's and get free internet access, and, you know, and you have porn. And it's way safer, you know? Just, and there's no risk involved. I don't understand why people are still, you know, finding prostitutes. It doesn't make sense. I mean, good for the ladies, you know? If that's what they want to do with their life, you know, that's fine. No one's telling them what to do. But, man.
Yeah.
It's not the safest way to live, that's for sure.
No. Well, every woman's sitting on a pot of gold.
Yeah, I guess so. That's, well,
Or something.
something like that.
Wick stamps or something.
Well, I was talking about that too. I guess food stamps aren't around anymore, right? It's like it's a card with your name on it, so you can't sell them or whatever.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Someone came into my work yesterday and was like, "Do you guys take food stamps?" And I'm like, I'll buy them for you, 50 cents on the dollar. You know, I'll use them for food. I mean, not really. I mean, but seriously, like that's good money right there. That's what I spend most of my money on anyway, is food. So why not? I think they want to go buy crack.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's a Wick card or something.
That would be a good way to stop people from doing that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Finally.
Yeah.
After decades.
After decades of abuse, government food stamps. One man, one card. Took the world by storm.
Do you take food stamps? I was wondering.
Like, this is the Home Depot. What are you doing here?
Do you know or have you met anyone named Jose yet? Do you work with anyone named Jose?
I don't think I do. Why do you ask?
I don't know. I'm just thinking. I don't know. Just wondering.
I've got a coworker whose brother's name is Jose.
Close enough.
My coworker's name is Jose B.
Jose B.
Yes. It's the best way to tell them apart. No, I work with a guy. I think his name is Francesco, but he goes by Isaac. You know, he's like, both of his parents are Mexican, but he was born in the United States, and he's like, you know,
he's set for life.
Can't even speak Spanish. You know, it's weird. I work with a lot of people like that, and it's new to me coming down here to Tucson from Seattle and seeing people where you're like, all right, I'm gonna try to have to figure out what these people are gonna say, like sizing them up, and I don't mean to, you know. And when they open their mouth, you realize they don't even speak Spanish. They just look very Spanish, very, you know, Mexican. You know, I work with a lot of people like that where a customer will come in and assume that because the person they're about to speak to is Mexican, that they speak Spanish, and they have no idea. They don't even know. So,
or they pretend like they don't, but I don't know.
That's probably more likely. They just don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to let on. I feel like that would be really beneficial, like in so many ways.
It would. I tried it recently, and I whatever.
Gave up?
I have a hard time retaining stuff. Like,
Did you try the Rosetta Stone?
I didn't.
I
I
think.
got a used book at Bookman's,
Hmm.
and I don't know. It's just it's weird, you know. And then they tend. I don't want anyone to misunderstand. I'm just saying, like, you know, I've experienced when there's groups of them, and you know, like when I was in school and I was doing one of my clinical rotations, and there was like, you know, 5 of the people. It was in Nogales, Arizona, at the hospital.
Sure.
So, you know, 5, 7 people out of the 8 or 9 that worked there were all Spanish, Mexican, whatever, and so they would just talk amongst themselves in Spanish, and like while I was there, and you know, that's fine too, because I don't
Well, sure.
understand it. I mean, you can talk about me or make fun of me in Spanish, but I don't know, so it's like,
You don't care.
and I don't care either.
Well, and the thing is too. I mean, if you put yourself in their position, and it was a bunch of Americans and one, whatever
Right.
German guy who didn't speak any English. Of course, you're gonna all speak in English around this German person or whatever. And I also see the flip side where it's very easy to talk about somebody if they don't understand you. But I think that I find myself feeling like people are talking about me when they're not. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, yeah, I wonder, like, they could very easily say something that I wouldn't understand. But I really think that 9 times out of 10, you're probably
Yeah.
left completely out of the conversation. And if you are a part of the conversation, it's just
If we
like with
wanted
this.
you in the conversation, we would be speaking English.
Exactly, pretty much.
I think it's easier for them. I guess, you know, just speaking Spanish, whatever. It's funny.
I noticed too that Spanish-speaking people here that do know a little bit of English are sort of insecure because
Sure.
they're afraid of being mocked,
Yeah, yeah.
or getting it wrong. And I know that that's why I kind of stray away from using what very little Spanish I know, because I'm afraid my accent will be wrong, or I'll get my masculine, feminine mixed up, or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then someone will laugh at me. And I mean, I don't really care about someone laugh. I hope that people laugh at me, when I do stand up, but I don't want to say, la when I meant L.
Right. Putting the right, you know, the right swoosh on it, wherever that little squiggly thing goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's, it is what it is. And as the wise and wistful Ted Nugent said, it's a free for all.
Yeah. Deja
So,
vu. That's
moving on.
French. Um, let's talk about our featured food of the month. Our featured food of the month is top ramen. We talked a little bit about it last week. And this week I've got a couple of interesting suggestions. The first one is if you're into like pad thai or that kind of thing, a lot of peanut sauces and stuff like that. Cook your top ramen the way we suggested last week, which is cook it, drain the noodles, and you can add some sesame or ginger dressing and peanut butter. Really,
Peanut butter, huh?
peanut butter. Yep, it adds a creaminess to it, just like a tablespoon, not a whole lot. And it really does taste sort of Thai-y. Also,
Thai-esque.
Thai-esque, yes. Also, if you're familiar with the Vietnamese soup pho, it's really popular up in the Pacific Northwest. You can make a pho style soup by slicing raw meat really, really thin. It's easier to slice it thin when it's frozen, and cooking it in the soup broth. So you'll put your water in and put your packet in, bring it up to a boil, and then cook your meat in that first. Once it's cooked, drop your noodles in, and then you're good to go there. And then lastly, this one I'm a huge fan of. Just a can of Hormel chili and some
Mm.
cheddar cheese. Right inside the ramen, dude. Can't go
I
wrong.
I had one on Tuesday.
Did you?
Yep.
That's the way to go.
We were busy, and I just busted out a can of Hormel chili. I love it.
So good.
Yep.
I know. Or stag. I mean, I can do stag too.
Sure,
Yeah.
Stag's my second choice.
Yeah,
Or Denison's.
Yeah.
I think actually Denison's above Stag.
It is pretty good. It's all the same. You can find chili anywhere now, man. I mean, like the dollar store, you can get 2 cans for $1 sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a good deal. So anyway, top ramen. A couple more suggestions there for this week. If you have a top ramen recipe that we haven't mentioned or you think that you want to share, write us an email at cookingcomically@gmail.com and we will feature your recipe on the podcast and drop your name and probably not make fun of you. So, no guarantees.
No guarantees. At least if we do, it'll be in Spanish and you won't know.
That's right. So, I want to let's check out a little bit more from our featured drummer. What was his name?
Okay, this is Steve Morse and the Dixie Dregs at a live show in Connecticut in 2008 with Rod Morgenstein on the drums. Now, I guess the Steen is spelled Stein, so I recently heard that when you have two vowels that follow each other, you're supposed to use the second one as the accented. So in this case, it could be Rod Morgenstein, although I've only heard him referred to as Morgenstein. Tomato, tomato.
If you know how to pronounce his name, please send an email.
Or if someone can clarify the two vowels in a row theory, that would be helpful too. This song, there's a little story that goes with a little bit of this song. When I was a kid growing up, I didn't live in Phoenix, but we got the local Phoenix independent station, KPHO. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't a big fan of the news, but I guess this is where I first heard this next song, or part of it. So this local news station in Phoenix, as they were rolling the credits on their nightly news, this song would be playing, or part of it, a section. And I didn't know it until years later when I was into drums and I stumbled upon a Dixie Dregs cassette that I found this song, and it was I don't know, I thought it was kind of weird and sort of kismetish.
That's cool, though.
If you will. Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's what that is.
And what I was going to say was, this song is called Hereafter. I think it's originally from the album Dregs of the Earth. And it starts out, it's kind of a sleeper. I mean, it starts out real mellow, and it won't be like this every week. I'll have more.
Let's hear it, man.
But let me just. Anyway, Rod kicks ass on this song. it goes on for another almost 3 minutes of self-indulgent progressive rock, wanking and stuff.
Very good. I could totally see how that would work for a news program.
Mm-hmm. Especially in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Very cool. We should maybe leave a link to that in the description here.
Okay.
So if people want to hear the whole thing, we can do that. So
it occurred to me, like you can. That's the great thing about iTunes is you can get samples of songs and.
Really?
Yeah. Or when you're checking out a song and you get enough of one to get a good idea. Obviously, that's the whole.
I had no idea. I don't buy music, so I
really.
Yeah. I pirate everything. I really do. It's dishonest, but actually, I don't pirate everything. I take that back. If there's something that I really, really like that I've pirated, I will go and buy the real thing. There have been a couple of video games that I pirated, enjoyed so much that I bought the real thing because I want to support the people. But I think that's the responsible way to pirate stuff. You buy something for $10, you don't like it, you're screwed, man. What do you do? You're out $10. And I know that that's the way it's always been, but things are changed now. I know that there are awesome bands out there that if I want their material, I'll buy it. But if I just want to check something out, I'm not going to pay for it. Unless I like it, then I'll go back and pay for it.
I have a friend that he prefers to buy all this stuff, discs. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like to shop on iTunes either. He thinks, obviously, I'm sure the quality is better from a CD than
it is.
a download. So.
Yeah, and eventually, the people are the same way with records still to this day. Obviously the sound quality isn't as good, but there's something, about the sound of vinyl that people really enjoy. I don't get it, but that wasn't my time. It wasn't. I grew up with cassettes and CDs. I was just talking about this the other day, how when something new hits the market, the people that want to be the first ones to own it are idiots. Because there's always a competitive something there, right alongside, and you don't know which one is going to take off. Mm-hmm. It was that way with a lot of stuff. Betamax,
8-tracks.
Was there a competitor to 8-tracks?
Well, it was cassettes and 8-tracks.
And cassettes took over.
Yeah.
And then it was we had the same thing with DVDs or CDs, even recordable CDs. You had CD minus R and CD plus R for the recordable ones, and if you bought the wrong ones for the wrong machine, then you were screwed. And then Blu-ray and HD DVD and Blu-ray. Remember when what was the big DVDs?
Oh, yes, Laserdisc.
Laserdisc. That's right. Yeah, that didn't take off.
Just a little too big.
Yeah. They went the compact route.
And now I guess because so much is based around the size of the compact disc and DVD, that standard size, but they can make it smaller and get more information on it.
Sure.
Just like they can upgrade the stinking quality of drive-through intercom systems. You know what I mean? It's like by now, really, it can't be that much more to really just upgrade so each party can hear each other well.
No kidding.
It just drives me crazy, No, I did not order the double bacon, beef, and baconator.
I'm surprised that, just about everyone has a smartphone now. They should have an app where when you're getting within proximity of the whatever fast food restaurant, you open up your app, you park in the parking lot, you open up your app, type in what it is you want on your phone, then get in the drive-through line. They know by, radio frequency or whatever, by proximity that your phone matches the order that you placed in. They don't even have to talk to you. They just hand you a bag, and it takes the money off of your, whatever bank account you have linked to the app.
Yeah.
I just gave away $1 million idea.
You're crazy.
I just threw it out there. So make it happen, people.
It's free for all, literally. Too much
Really though,
technology.
that is not impossible now. Where, even 5 years ago that would have been impossible. You know,
Yeah.
if you have an eBay app on your phone, you link it to your bank account, you look on it, boom, I want to buy that, you're done. So why couldn't you do it with a McDonald's or Jack in the Box or Wendy's or whatever, or even like Olive Garden or anything? I mean, shit, how cool would it be to, your tablet, whatever. I mean, they've even got computers in cars now, where you find your proximity. You can take as much time as you want to look at the menu. There's no asshole behind you honking his horn, you know. And then when you get close enough, they're like, "Oh, Mr. So and So's here. Have his bag ready."
Bring it out to him.
Yep. Be awesome.
I know now you can take a picture of checks with your phone and that's good enough. Considered it as a deposit.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary.
I keep forgetting that I can do that. I still like going to the bank,
Still amazed. Yeah, you can just deposit them in an ATM now. That's cool.
Yeah. Thank you for saying ATM and not ATM machine. That bugs the hell out of me, man.
That's funny.
Yeah.
ATM machine.
I know. Or, I spent all last weekend installing a hot water heater. Well, you don't need to heat hot water. It's already hot, asshole. You install a water heater, dick.
Yeah.
Little things like that, they get under my skin, and I'm guilty of them too. I mean, I think that's the reason that they bother me so much is, I'm just as Sam too.
Well, supposedly.
Yeah. Yep. There's someone very, very close to me that says that.
Yeah.
Yep.
My mother says that.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly.
I know. How many B's is there in that word?
Let's break it down.
Let's look it up and break it down. Have you spell checked that? I mean, is that how you write it too? How many times have you seen that red squiggly line under your word, right, in word, and realize that that's not how you say it?
Yeah. Yeah, my boss texted me one about something. Oh, no. Weather. Yeah. He texted me something. It was like, whether we need to do this or that or something, or in the notes, and it was like, he spelled it
like the rain.
Yes.
Yeah. I know. That one bugs me. People can't get there spelled properly. I mean, there's 3 ways of spelling it, and they can't ever get it right. Somebody will say, well, that's their fault, and it's THERE, and I'll always reply, where fault? Just being a dick, and they don't even understand what I'm talking about. They're the ones that are confused. Go figure.
I don't see it. Where?
Yeah.
What? What did you mean? What?
Exactly.
Where? That's fun. I'm gonna have to try that.
And it sucks because it takes away from their point, and I really try to look past it and try to see what they mean. But it's just that blinding, like, I can't get it out of my head. It just bugs me, and I guess I'm a grammar Nazi. And I can't even spell very well. The thing is, like, I don't know. Certain things really get under my skin. Like a lot. Like, a lot is 2 words.
Yes,
it's always 2 words. Never is a lot 1 word. It's always a lot. If you have a lot of something, if you have a bunch of something, think of where you would store it all. Where are you going to store all of those beans? I'm going to store them in a lot. That's right.
Over there.
Over THERE.
Yes. Oh, I know. People are crazy. My mother-in-law, she... I think she calls it Tylenol, but she spells it Telenol, Telenol.
Yeah.
Oh, and her classic is Walmart's.
Multiple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and later on, I need to go to Walmart's. Like, okay.
Older people love to give ownership to, like, restaurants and grocery stores. Doesn't matter where it is. It's like, J.C. Penney is always Pennies, and I think that back in the day it was called Pennies at some point, wasn't it? Or is it, I don't know. Whatever. Montgomery Ward is Wards, and it's there's always that S there. It doesn't matter if it's actually there or not.
That's true. I never thought of that.
I've got a good friend who's coming down real soon, whose parents call it the Walmart.
The Walmart.
Yeah, as if someone were to make a mark on a wall.
Hit
They're going
that.
to the Walmart.
Nice.
How do you...
The freaking sign is like 30 feet
Exactly.
wide.
Giant. How do you say it wrong and it be right there? Oh,
The Walmart.
it just goes to show how set in their ways some people are. Assholes.
The assholes.
Speaking of Walmart, there are a lot of them around here, and they're very convenient. But is it worth the trade-off? Like really, is it worth going in there knowing you're going to save about $20 on the 100 for the misery of being around people? Nobody that's there wants to be there. Customers don't want to be there. The employees don't want to be there. Everyone's fucking miserable. No one's getting paid what they're worth. And so nobody does a good job. There's kids screaming and nobody knows where anything is. You try to ask someone where something is, they don't know. They don't care. They don't care enough to tell you.
I think it's over there.
Yeah.
Ask that lady in the blue vest. Yeah. I know, and it's either good people watching, for one thing, but yeah, if you have a lot to buy,
you totally save money, but it's like,
but yeah, then you got.
You're just depressed walking in there, and even worse walking out. God damn it! I really have to do this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, it's all when you go. Early's good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if all of them are, but some of them are 24 hours, which is.
That's what the wife was telling me, man. You go
cool,
at 4 in the morning, and you're good.
Yep.
You just have to dodge the tweakers.
And
we're trying to shoplift.
Watch your step as the floor cleaner guy comes like.
He might shoot a syringe at you or something. Yeah, be careful. But I like Food City here. And for those of you that aren't in the Tucson area, Food City is the quote-unquote Mexican, grocery store.
Yeah.
It's catered to the Hispanics. It's got a lot more peppers and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The place is awesome. Your produce is dirt cheap, and it's just as good. And the only thing I don't like about it is the way the other customers look at me, because I'm not Hispanic. I'm like one of 2 white people in there. But
you have a right.
That's right. I know. I like it though. It's super cheap. I went in there and walked out. I came out of there today. I spent $15 and I had 2 full bags full of stuff. Mostly produce.
That's good.
That's the way to do it. I haven't found any produce stands around here though.
Yeah.
Side of the road guys.
Farmers
probably.
market. That's your best bet.
Where is that?
I don't know.
There's one somewhere.
Yeah. Google it.
I'm gonna. All right. Let's. How about snack time? I'd say it's about time for snack time. Snack time today is Hammy Rolls. This is a family tradition passed down from my grandma to my mother to me. Super easy, super cheap, and delicious. The flavors complement one another quite well. 3 ingredients. You're gonna get ham, and it's the hardest part. This is the hardest part to find. It's rectangular cut ham. Oscar Mayer used to make it. They don't anymore. All their ham is square. You got to get the rectangular stuff, and it's always like the great value or whatever. Like the cheapest ones, get that one. That's the one. Make sure it's not cut too thin, but you do want a thin cut, but just not too thin, not paper thin. But rectangular cut ham, cream cheese, plain old, bargain brand cream cheese
Kroger.
is fine. Yeah, exactly. Kroger, Fry's, Safeway, and dill pickle spears. Don't get cheap dill pickle spears. Get some good ones. It's worth it. The crunch is the way to go.
Go Clausen.
That's right. With is it Vlasic or Klaus? Which is the one with the? I like the one with the stork. Yeah.
Vlasic.
I like that guy. He seems smart. I think it's his glasses. So
he knows his pickle.
If it's cheaper to buy whole pickles and you want to do the work, go for it. But I like the spears because makes it easier for me. So lay out your rectangular piece of ham, blot it dry with a paper towel. Get your cream cheese about room temperature. It makes it a little bit easier to spread. And get a nice cut of cream cheese. Lay it on the far left or right portion of your rectangle of ham, and cut a piece of the dill pickle spear. I like to cut all the seeds out just because they take away from the crunch. But just a small, thin slice of dill pickle. Roll that bitch up and cut it into thirds, and you're done. You can stick a toothpick in it if you want. I know it sounds stupid and silly and easy, and it is, but it's delicious. Never had anyone complain about Hammy Rolls. Great for kids' parties and bachelorette parties. So I've heard.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Family favorite, and expected at every family gathering of mine.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Is there like a competition every year?
No, it's not like each one brings their own Hammy Roll. It's like if nobody brings Hammy Rolls, everybody's pissed. So, like, it doesn't matter who's in charge of making them, so long as they're there.
Yeah.
You know. And actually, now that we're talking about family stuff, I want to do a bonus this week. Let me back up. Snack time. If you have an amazing snack that you want to share with us and the world, send us an email at cookingcomically@gmail.com, and we will feature your snack during snack time and drop your name. I want to close out today. I want to talk about my grandmother's punch. It's an alcoholic punch. It's another 3-ingredient masterpiece, and it gets you schnockered. You can go and buy a handle of the cheapest vodka. Usually, whatever grocery store you're in has their own name on the bottle of vodka, and it's good because it's in a plastic bottle, and it tastes like charcoal. That's the stuff you want. It's like $9 for half a gallon, but get a half gallon of that. Go pick yourself out a citrus flavored sherbet. I like to use pineapple or lime. One of the two is fine. And a 2-liter bottle of 7-Up. Let the sherbet melt in a bowl and dump half gallon of vodka, and the full half gallon of vodka and the full 2-liter of 7-Up. It gets foamy, it gets frothy, and it's awesome. It's really, really good. You don't really taste the alcohol, and you're way too drunk to drive. So give it a shot. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Who's closing us out?
Well, I was looking for, let's see here.
Put you on the spot.
This is Steve Morse. I don't know who's playing the drums on this one. This is Rush's. This is Steve Morse playing La Via Strangiato. And there we go again, trying to pronounce things that, is it Strangiato? Is it Strangiato? I don't know.
Things that white people have no place trying to pronounce.
But they do a fantastic job. For those of you that know this one, if it'll come up. Oh, because this is why.